Bench warrant is issued for Cheney. The Veterans Administration has been notified. Bridget Ellis. Am I?
So I was taking a U.S.
Okay. Bridget Ellis. Where's Taylor?
She just done the urine screen for me, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Because Bridget Ellis is supposed to be at the desk, so I'll recall that one. Campbell Krantz.
Yes, sir.
23,695. And you've been at Valley Health?
Yeah. I had brought you, the last time I came in, I brought you that paperwork and showed you. I just had to do my community service, which I've done 13 hours so far.
That is correct, Your Honor. Got there this morning and I had verified.
And I've got to go again tonight to do it, so I'm doing pretty good on my community service. And that's, I believe it's the last thing we got to do. And I've also been working as well at the Civic Center. So.
Okay, I'll set your next review hearing for June 14th. If you get your community service done, you don't have to come out.
Yes, sir.
Chase Lewis, 141065. He's working on fines. You have a payment today, Mr. Lewis?
Yes, sir, $40.
All right. See the clerk to make that payment. Are Mondays better for you?
Either one, it doesn't matter.
June 10th.
All right, thank you.
We're on 9 o'clock, June 10th. All right, Tori Lindsay is here. Okay. Well, our screen for today is appropriate.
We did have an issue at Minute Reads with the one screen, and after I spoke to my mother who works in recovery, I figured out why it popped positive, because it was only for methamphetamines, no cutting agents, no amphetamines. It's because I used the Vicks vapor inhaler, and that has just methamphetamines in it, a small dose, and that's why my levels were so low. I've been speaking to my counselor about this as well, and she's on the same team as me, my counselor Penny. And like she said, that makes sense with the no cutting agents, and it was down to 726. It was, if you remember, when I went to hometown, my level was 20,000. So it's not even close to what it would be when I use.
Okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep you on the same schedule with the outpatient. I know that in the past there's been recommendations for inpatient, but we're going to watch this really close.
Okay.
And I want to keep screening her, keep, if there are any other positives, and I feel like they're true positives, then inpatient's going to be the option.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about that, sir.
You've got community service to do too.
Yes, I did complete 4 hours of it yesterday, and then I'm going in tomorrow to complete some more. I'm going to work it out this week. I've already got it set up with the lady at the animal shelter.
Okay, we need to get, you don't have proof, we need some proof of that.
I have a picture of it. I took a picture if you would like to see it.
I need something in writing.
Okay, all right. Well, she said she was going to send it over. She just might not have got it over yet, but I did take a picture of her like signature and stuff where I saw it, but I'll have her send it over if she didn't.
June 14th is your next hearing.
June 14th,
9
all right.
o'clock. All right, Bridget Ellis, back, she's
Did
at
you say 14th or 13th?
14th,
Okay.
June 14th.
Thank you.
She is there.
That's what I thought.
It was just a little bit craziness this weekend. I didn't see her on the docket. She's doing really, really well. She lost her mother last week, so she's dealing with that, but she's doing well, getting acclimated to treatment and progressing the way she should.
Okay, very good. I'll set our next hearing for June 10th, 9 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Bridget Ellis. That's case numbers 19-820, 18-235, 18-171, 16-131.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Jacob Williams is case number 22-806 and 807, and he's at RRS. Okay, good report with some things left to work on, is the way I will
Yes, sir.
say it, and this is really all you've got left, then. Community service and fines and costs are paid, so keep doing your counseling. I'll set your next hearing for June 21st.
Appreciate it, sir.
Good job. 9 o'clock, June 21st. Brian McClellan is 18-2552. He's been called, has failed to appear, so there'll be a warrant. Failure to appear. Okay, that finishes the reviews. We're going to start new cases next. There's a lot of people in jail over the weekend with new cases, so at some point we'll break and go. We do those all by teleconference now, so we'll go to the jail. For people that are in person, we'll start with the ones that we have. There may be some still in progress where they're working on getting the charges filed. So at some point, if your name isn't called and you were told to be here, go check in with the clerk to make sure you're on the docket today. When your name is called, come up to the table to your right, stand there. I'm going to go over the charges with you. You don't have to agree with the charges, but you need to understand the charges. You have a right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything. But if you do make statements, what you say is all being recorded. It's on the record, so to speak. It's what lawyers call it, on the record, which means it can be used against you if you get up and admit something about your case. You have a right to have an attorney. You have a right to have an attorney appointed to represent you if you meet certain financial guidelines. I have to ask you about your income if you want a court-appointed lawyer. You have a right to bail. You have a right to make the state prove any charge filed against you beyond a reasonable doubt. Those are the rights all defendants have. If you enter guilty or no contest, you're waiving those rights. You should not do that. If you don't understand what's happening, if you want to talk to a lawyer, if you want a trial, or if you don't know what to do, you should not enter a guilty or no contest plea. You should enter a not guilty plea. That's the safest plea. It preserves the rights that you have as a defendant. Call the first case.
State of Ohio versus Damian D. Nukem, case number TRC 24-874, A, B, and C.
Sir, are you Damian Nicholas Nukem?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Nukem, it's alleged on April the 30th at 3:52 p.m. in Erie Township, you were driving a vehicle while you were under the influence of either alcohol, drugs, or a combination of those things. States allege you submitted to a urine test.
Yes, sir.
Urine tests are sent to a lab in Columbus for testing, and it takes a while to get the results. I don't have results on your urine screen at this point. It's alleged if you were convicted, this would be your first conviction on this charge.
Yes, sir.
On a first offense, the maximum is 6 months in jail, $1,075 fine, 3-year license suspension. The minimum penalty is 3 days in a treatment program, $375 fine, and a 6-month license suspension. You understand that charge?
Yes, sir.
You've got 2 other charges. Driving without a driver's license.
Yes, sir.
That's what's called an unclassified misdemeanor. The maximum penalty for that's 500 hours of community service and a $1,000 fine. Not wearing a safety belt. That's a mandatory $30 fine if you're found guilty. So you've got 3 charges. Do you understand the 3 charges?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand your rights as a defendant?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to these charges?
Plead guilty.
A guilty plea means you're admitting the charges are true. You waive your rights to have a trial and have a lawyer when you enter a guilty plea. You understand
Yes,
that?
sir.
Okay, I'll accept your guilty plea. I have a pretty lengthy report from the arresting officer, so I'm going to read that into the record. And then, if you want to make a statement, you can. You're not required to make any statement.
Yes, sir.
This is by Trooper Jewell of the Ohio State Highway Patrol. And he says on April the 30th at approximately 3:52 p.m. I was sitting stationary in church parking lot at the intersection of County Road 6, County Road 52. I observed a silver Buick going north on County Road 6 and it had an expired registration. The vehicle turned left on County Road 52 and proceeded on County Road 52 at a high rate of speed, quicker than normal traffic. I proceeded to pull out to catch up to the vehicle. When I caught up to the vehicle, I observed it continuing to travel at a high rate of speed. And I could observe tire tracks on the wet road traveled left of center on multiple occasions to include both tires in the middle of the opposite lane. Approximately a minute after turning on County Road 52 and not gaining on the vehicles that proceeded to go left to center at high rate of speed, I turned on my overhead lights, initiated the lights of the vehicle stop in a carport at an address of 3686 County Road 52. Exit patrol car made contact with the driver, who was identified as Damian Nukem, asking for his license registration. He informed me that he did not have a license, asking him if that was the reason he took off, and informed me that he wasn't going to run from me, that he pulled over once he saw my lights. It was immediately apparent to me that his eyes were bloodshot and his speech was slurred and slow. Asking for registration for me, he just purchased the car and proceeded to hand me the title. While talking, I observed both him and his passenger were not wearing safety belts. I returned to my patrol car and asked him to move to a safer location. I asked him to stand by the passenger side of the passenger door while I conducted administrative work of the traffic stop. Mr. Nukem advised that he had never had a license or a government-issued ID card. I observed the back of the title was incomplete with only the seller's signature. Registration plate on the vehicle did not belong on the vehicle. I asked him who he bought it from, where the plates come from. He informed me that the plates were on the vehicle when he bought it. I told him that I observed him going at a high rate of speed and driving left to center. I asked if the reason for his behavior was due to him not having a license. He informed me that he just gets nervous around cops. I asked him if his front seat passenger, who his front seat passenger was. She had identified as Pamela Castle and that she had a license. And asked if she had a license. He said that she did not have a license. It was raining at that point. I observed informed Mr. Nukem that he was welcome to take a seat in the back of my patrol car to get out of the rain. He voluntarily took a seat in the patrol car, proceeded to fill out citations and make arrangements for someone to retrieve the vehicle. because neither person had a license. Observed his eyes were really bloodshot, asked if he had taken anything for me. He smoked weed earlier today. Asked him how long it had been since he'd smoked. He said maybe an hour or two. Asked him if he'd smoked. He informed me he smoked a blunt. Asked him out of the patrol car for a test. Asked him if he had had any recent head injuries. He said he had not. Asked him if he had any recent inner ear infections. He said he had not. He informed me that he had had COVID approximately a month ago. Asked him if he had any current issues as a result of COVID. He said no. Asked him if he had any back or leg issues that would prevent him from walking a straight line or keeping his balance. He informed me that he had stitches in his foot. He pointed to his right foot from about a year ago. Asked him if he has been acting up. He told me that he has. He continued that if he places pressure on it, it hurts a little bit. Asked him if it affects his ability to walk straight or keep the balance. He says it hurts every now and again. Asking him again if he had any leg or back issues, he said that there was none. Asking if he was under a doctor's care, and he said that he was not. Asking if he was taking any medications, he said he was prescribed Adderall and Ritalin. He had not been taking that since 2020. Asking him if he had anything in his jacket in the vehicle, and he said there was not. Asking him if he was in otherwise good health, which he said he was. Administered cortisone gaze in the nystagmus test, which is the eye test. Put him in a correct position, feet together, arms to the side, instructing him to remain in that position through the entirety of the test. Asking him to follow the stimulus with his eyes only, keep his head still. Top the pen directly in front of his face, slightly above the eyes. Proceeded to check, ensure his pupils were equal in size and tracked equally. Mr. Williamson's eyes tracked equally, his pupils were equal in size. I observed no resting nystagmus. He informed me prior to taking the test he does have glasses, but he was not wearing them. He said he was able to see the stimulus. During the HGN test, no clues were observed. While performing the test, observed his eyes were bloodshot outside of his eyes with loose focus of the stimulus throughout the test. I administered lack of convergence test. During that test, I observed Mr. Nukem sway, observed his eyes failed to converge on each pass. I asked if he had been informed of any issues with his eyes or vision. Instead, said he had not. I administered a walk and turn test, asking if he was comfortable walking in shoes, allowed him to take off his shoes if he wished. He did, took the test with the shoes off, wearing socks. I observed 3 clues, which were stepping off the line, improper turn, and not taking a proper number of steps. He performed the test very slow and methodical. I administered one-leg stand, asked him to place his arms to his side, and informed he could raise either leg. He advised he will raise his injured foot. I observed 1 clue while balancing during the test. Mr. Nukem had difficulty counting. Asked him his highest level of education, which he informed me graduated, but had some difficulty. Asked him if he felt like he could count backwards from 67 to 52. He said he probably could. He proceeded to begin counting, starting at 67 and continued until he got to 1. Once reaching 41, he skipped to 30. Advised he messed up, he picked up to 39 and continued to count backwards. Finger to nose test. During the finger to nose test, he missed the tip of his nose 5 times. Those 2 were approximately an inch off. 4th, 5th, and 6th were approximately half an inch off from his nose. Gave him a modified Romberg test. Observed Mr. Nukem sway. His eyelids had tremors and also in his body. I terminated the test after 90 seconds. breath test was administered because it didn't appear there was any evidence of alcohol. I transported to Ironton Patrol Post, offered him a urine screen, which he accepted. He was sent to the OSP crime lab for testing. He was cited for operating a vehicle intoxicated without a license, failure to wear a safety belt. Okay, so that was pretty lengthy. Well, you may know better than me. There is for years there was no per se level under THC standards.
Yes, sir.
We could only test, you either had THC in your system or you didn't.
Yes, sir.
But now, the test will show a quantity of THC, and there is an amount that's per se in violation of statute. So, at this point, I don't know what your screen's gonna show.
Okay, sir.
Do you want to wait and see what the test shows, or you may have a pretty good knowledge that you're impaired?
Yes, sir. If I can wait, I'd rather wait.
Okay. All right, well, here's what I'm going to do then. I'm just going to delay sentencing. I'll accept your guilty plea at this point. I'll delay the sentencing. You don't have a driver's license. Have you ever had a driver's license?
No, sir.
Was there a reason you never had a driver's license?
I ain't had a car. I just bought the car like 2 days before I got pulled over, and I planned on going to getting them and stuff.
Okay. Well, you can still get it because there's no suspension in effect.
Yes, sir. I went the other day to get it, but I didn't pass my permit test.
Okay.
So I was going to try to get it before I went to court.
Did you need to get the little pamphlet? Did you get that?
Yes, sir. They're online now.
Okay.
I have to do it online.
Because if you don't study, if you just go take the test without looking at that stuff over, you'll never pass it because they ask stuff like, what's the minimum tread depth? You
Yes,
have to
sir.
know. Nobody knows that unless you read the materials.
And I got a slow learning the problem where I'm slow at learning and stuff where I went to the SBH unit.
Okay. All right, well, it's going to take a while to get your test scores back because they're pretty backed up at the labs. So I'm going to set you for July the 8th as your next hearing. You should have the results back by then. July the 8th, I'll set it as a sentencing hearing. But if you come in below the per se level for THC, then I'll find you not guilty. But it sounds like there's a good chance you're going to be over the per se level, but I don't know until I get the results. I'm going to let you sign a $1,500 signature bond. So what this means is you're signing a piece of paper that says, I promise to come to court when I'm ordered to, or I'll pay a $1,500 penalty for not showing up. And you get arrested too, so that's the worst part, you get arrested.
Yes, sir.
So just come to court when you're ordered to. You got a piece of paper?
Yes, sir.
Make sure you put that on the refrigerator so you know when you got to come back to court.
Yes, sir.
Any questions?
No, sir.
Work on getting your license between now and then. You got plenty of time to try to get it.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Chad D. Campbell, case number CRB 22-814, TRC 22-2782A and B.
All right, Chad Campbell, you were supposed to be here for your review hearing on
Monday.
last Monday.
Yeah, I planned on getting all my community service done. I got all of it done besides one day.
Do you know if it's ready?
I believe it's.
I came,
That should be that day. Oh, no, it's around.
Yeah.
I came Saturday on the double day, and then it was either Tuesday or Wednesday.
Okay. All right, well, here's what I'm going to do. It hasn't been updated yet, so you'll need to check in with Mr. Cooper or Mr. Major before your next date. Make sure you are completed. That was all you had left was community service. So June 21st, if it gets credited, you're done. You don't have to come back.
All right, I plan
Otherwise,
on.
you got to be here at 9 o'clock on June 21st.
All right, I plan on doing it this Thursday.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Devin, Erie, case number TRD 18-1954, A and B.
And you're Devin Erie?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Erie, it's alleged June 26, 2018, this is an old case, at 2:03 a.m. in Fayette Township, that you were driving a vehicle with a suspended license. This is a first-degree misdemeanor, maximum penalty 6 months in jail, $1,000 fine, and that you failed to display plates, so that's a minor misdemeanor, maximum penalty is $150 fine. Do you understand the 2 charges?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand your rights?
Yes, sir.
How do you plead to these charges?
I plead guilty.
Guilty means you admit the charges are true, you waive your rights to trial and a lawyer.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll accept your plea. Let me read what the officer wrote at the time the citation was entered. Trooper Martin, Ohio State Highway Patrol, says vehicle stopped for two turn signal violations. After the stop was initiated, registration was found to be expired November 30th. Driver was found to have a suspended driver's permit. Okay, and then it's alleged you didn't come to court. And it looks like you got arrested on the warrant and had to post a bond. Is that right?
Yeah, I just, I guess when I was 18, I just thought I was above the law, and I just honestly completely forgot, man. And like I told him yesterday, I apologize, and I understand, it was like 6 years ago, and I honestly just had no clue, or I'd have already taken care of it.
Okay, well, you had a clue you got the citation, right?
Well, yeah, I know, yeah, I'm sorry.
You just blew it off. That's what
Yeah,
you did.
18-year-old Devin was not a good guy.
So that cost you going to jail and $250 for a bond, right?
Yeah, it was $350.
$350, okay. All right, anything else you want to tell me about it? Do you have a license now?
I have my temp permit now, yeah, because that's the main reason I was still going. I didn't know it was through here, but I also had something in Canova when I was 18 as well that I didn't know I had either. And I got that taken care of.
Are you still living in West Virginia?
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. Okay, anything else you want to tell me?
I apologize for 18-year-old Devin, and I've worked on myself a lot from being that type of person. I apologize.
Are you working now? Or?
Yeah, I'm in school. I'm in school to be an electrician, and I actually had to miss class today. That's why I bonded out, was so I could call my school and be like, hey, I have court tomorrow. And I'm also a River Park maintenance man.
Okay. All right, I'm giving you more because you did wait 6 years.
Yeah.
You got to get more than somebody that came in at the time and took care of it when they were supposed to. So your fine's going to be $250. More than it would have been if you'd come in at the time. Order you to pay the court costs. I'll give you 10 days in jail, and I'll suspend 10 days on the condition that you do 30 hours of community service. We have a community service program here at the court. You can work here every day except Sundays at 7:30 a.m. Do it on your days off. What's your work schedule?
So I'm in school Monday through Friday. I also work night shifts. So are you guys open on the weekend?
We are.
You guys are
Saturdays.
Saturdays? Okay.
Saturdays, and actually you can now work Sundays at the dog pound in Ironton, but you have to make an appointment. You need to, if you say, I need to work Sundays, then you need to talk to the probation officer, Mr. Cooper, and they can get you set up. You can't just walk in there and do it. They can only take so many people, so you kind of have to make a reservation to do that.
And if I want to help on Saturdays, I'll just show up here?
Just show up here at 7:30.
Okay.
You're going to get a review hearing. What that means is I'm giving you all summer and the first of the fall to get this done without me looking over your shoulder.
Okay.
On November the 4th of this year, if you still have stuff left to do, you got to come to court. That's what those people were here early, first hearings. And if you don't show up, you go through this whole process again. You get a warrant issued.
Yeah.
So,
Very good.
the whole idea is to get it done before then you
Yeah.
don't have to show up for the review hearing. November 4th, 9 a.m. 2 years of level 5 probation. That's just to ensure that you do this. So you don't have to report other than that review hearing date.
Okay.
Mr. Major's going to be your probation officer. He's out at the X-ray machine. Security's out in the lobby, so go talk to him before you leave. He'll give you a copy of your judgment entry. Do you have any questions of me? What you got to do?
No, sir, you explained it very well.
And let's see, did I send him on the other? Okay. On the license plate, issue a $50 fine.
$15
Okay, that's it. So go see Mr. Major out in the lobby, then after that, you're free to go. November 4th, your next court.
State of Ohio versus Courtney Allen, case number TRD 24-268, A and B.
Are you Kurt Edward Allen?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Allen, it's alleged that February the 9th of this year at 10:32 p.m. in Erie Township, you were driving a vehicle at a speed of 76 in a 55 zone. That's not a jailable offense. The maximum penalty is $150 fine. And that you were driving without the benefit of a driver's license. That's what's called an unclassified misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 500 hours of community service and a $1,000 fine. Do you understand the two charges?
Yes.
Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
How do you plead?
Guilty.
Guilty means you're admitting it's true and you waive your rights to trial and a lawyer when you do that.
Yes, sir.
I'll accept your plea and read the report of the officer. Then if you want to make a statement, you can. This is Trooper Jewell, State Highway Patrol. Says I was sitting stationary on US 52 to cross over at milepost 16. I observed a pickup truck traveling alone above posted speed limits. I estimated the speed at 75, checked the speed on radar at 74, 75, 76, locked it in at 76. Pickup continued to speed, caught up with the vehicle, and passed on the left prior to reaching the vehicle. The driver stated he did not see me in the crossover or would have slowed down. Computer check showed he did not have a license. A passenger with him had a license and drove from the scene after the citation. And it looks like he failed to appear at your arraignment hearing and got a capias and got arrested on the capias and had to post a bond.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so do you have anything you want to say in response to what Trooper Jewell wrote, or any explanation for not coming to court when you were ordered to, which was back on February the 13th?
Well, with the February 13th with coming to court, I actually was looking the ticket number up and all that, couldn't find the ticket number, called, and it wasn't nothing in the system from my name. Literally, I tried, didn't figure nothing out until I just recently got pulled over, and they said, well, not recently got pulled over, I had my girlfriend look it up again, and she said that one of her tickets went to collection, so she tried to tell me mine did too, and when it looked up, she said it went to collection. So never knew nothing about me having a warrant or anything like that until I just got pulled over, so
Well, it says right on the ticket, the very top, you are summoned in order to appear on February 13th, 2024 at 1600. That's for 4 p.m. in Lawrence County Municipal Court, gives the address. So that's the very first thing the citation says.
yes, sir, on all the tickets. But I looked it up, I said, yes, sir, on all the tickets. I looked it up, though, trying to get more information about it, and there was nothing I could do when I looked the ticket up.
Well, I don't understand that. You could have called the court. You can look, I'm sure if I pull it up now, there may be a lead-in time. February 9th, if you go online and look on February 10th, it might not show up because it takes them a while to send it in. But I'm going to say by February 13th, it would have been in the system. And we have a website. You can go in, type in your name, it'll pull up every case that you've ever had here. So, okay, anything else you want to tell me?
Nope.
Do you have a license now?
No, sir.
Well, little clue. If you don't have a license and you're going to drive on US 52, might be a good idea, and your girlfriend's sitting right next to you and she's got a driver's license. I know it's not the manly thing to do. Might be a better idea to let her drive. especially if she's gonna drive at 76 and a 55 on US 52, which is known for what? Crawling with state troopers.
The only reason why I was driving, my brother has diabetes, he had a headache, and that was the one that drove off with the license at the time. And that's what we told the officer, so I get it though.
All right, so on the no operators license, consistent with the last guy that didn't come to court, it'll be a $250 fine, higher than it would have been if you would have come in back in the time when you were supposed to, or you to pay the court costs. This is not jail. This is a no driver's license, not a driving or suspension. So I'll order you to do 5 days community service, 2 years of level 5 probation. Your review hearing is going to be November the 4th. You got to get it done before then. You don't have to come back to court. If you don't get it done, you got to show up. The only way you can go to jail on this. I don't want you to go to jail. I'm not sentencing you to jail. But if you blow it off and don't come to court for your review, you will get a warrant again. So that's the only way you can wind up going to jail. On the speed offense, I'll impose a $76 fine, 76 miles an hour, $76 fine. I want you to see Mr. Major out in the lobby about your probation, level 5 probation for 2 years, just to make sure you do what you're supposed to. It'll terminate once you're finished. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, see Mr. Major, you're free to go after that.
State of Ohio versus Naaman C. Cox, case number CRB 23569, TRC 221663, A, B, C, D, and E, TRC 213062, A, B, and C, TRC 211917, A and D, and CRA 21500.
All right, Naaman Cox is here. You missed the review hearing a week ago.
Yes.
Do you have an explanation for that?
Transportation's a big issue due to, obviously, my circumstances for my driving penalties and whatnot. I've made it real good to all of them. It's like my first time I've had any complications. Finding a ride at short notice. I had a ride available and they had a last minute occurrence.
Is Taylor still here from Bethesda? Are you still at Bethesda?
No, I've completed that program. I've just been needing to show up for my reviews and keep up with the court and everything, but I had a complication last week. I just couldn't get in here.
Can you give me an updated report for Naaman Cox? Maybe you know it off the top of your head.
He graduated our program outpatient. He did well. He had some schedule constraints, but we worked with him and he seemed to get what he could out of the program.
Okay. All right. I don't think I have a letter of completion. The one I see doesn't say it's completed, so if you can give me that.
Absolutely.
Are you paying anything on your fines today?
Yes.
How much?
40. I had also had intentions of getting some more community service in before my court date today, but the last couple of weeks have just been really complicated with my transportation. My friend who normally helps me a lot with getting around has been having some complications of his own.
Okay. I'll set your next hearing for June 10th, 9 o'clock.
I'll have a letter for you then, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Clerk, make your payment. I'll withdraw the warrant.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Daniel G. Coyne, case number TRD 213316, A and B.
This was set for review hearing over a year ago, February 17th, 23, on a violation of restrictions on license. All right, so Mr. Coyne's here today. You didn't get arrested on this warrant, you just decided to...
Yeah, I just came in here this morning. I just got released from prison April 12th.
Okay. Are you going to be living in the county now?
No, I'm currently at Huntington Addiction Wellness Center.
Okay, well, I approve of that. I'll withdraw the warrant here. And all I'm showing that you had, looks like some fines. Fine and court costs. That's all. There was no other requirements. You can actually, if you can't afford it to pay, you can do community service and work it off. I'll let you work it off.
Yeah.
Here, any day, 7:30 a.m. you can come in. I'll cancel the warrant, give you a new review hearing date. June 14th will be your next review. 9 a.m. And what's the name of the treatment provider?
Huntington Addiction Wellness. Whenever I get to phase 2, I'll be able to set up a payment plan and take care of the fines. It's just right now, I'm in phase 1, I can't currently work.
Okay. They won't let you out for community service either?
I'd have to talk to them about it. But I mean, by June 14th, I'll have something, you know what I mean? I'll either be in phase 2 or...
Okay. We'll work with you. I want to see you get in recovery. I'll encourage that. All right, just keep us informed.
All right, thank you.
9 o'clock, June 14th is your next hearing. So that's the same as Hawk then? All right. Mr. Hatlanger. Okay, gotcha.
State of Ohio recalls Jerry L. Cheney Jr., case number CRB 23493.
Oh, okay. So I had texted Ms. Rayburn at the Veterans, so yeah, I called your name previously. She did respond back, so let me see what she said. You paid your fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have an appointment over there with Dustin this Thursday. So I had issued a warrant. I'll cancel that. He was here late. You said your paperwork says 10 instead of 9.
Yes, was I late, sir?
Yeah, that's fine. But you're here. We get a lot of people that don't come at all. So,
All right.
So no warrant for you.
Good.
I'll work with you. It looks like you're trying to engage with the VA as you're supposed to.
I've been out there, yes.
I'll set your next hearing, June 14th. So
What time
with
is
the VA, come in, bring me, and they're really good about giving me reports, on what you're doing. So that's all you got left is finish your counseling.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. June 14th, 9 a.m.
All right.
Okay, we're going to start pre-trials now. We don't We may have more arraignments coming, but their paperwork's not ready, so we need the prosecutor and the lawyers to come into the courtroom. We have pretrials, and we need any of their clients that have pretrials come into the courtroom.
State of Ohio versus Shannon D. Balls, case number TRC 19-404-4045.
This is Mr. Delilah's case set for a pretrial.
Your Honor, my name is indicated beside this gentleman's name on the docket, but this is not my case. He told me Mr. Morford represents him. And he also told me Mr. Morford told him he was on his way, but he's not here yet.
All right. Yeah, somehow I got entered that he had hired you, so I'll mark that out. Put down Mr. Morford, it'll be recalled when Mr. Morford arrives.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Daniel Bryant, case number CRB 24193.
This is Mr. Delilah's case, and this is the first, this is arraignment or pretrial?
Judge, I believe you allowed us to enter a written plea of not guilty, and we asked that it be set for a pretrial today. I believe the prosecutor's office has a temporary restraining order they're requesting. I've talked to Mr. Bryant about that. He doesn't have any objection to that.
All right, there'll be a TPO entered to stay away from Tom Inyard.
And I believe Mr. Heald, we've talked about potential resolutions to this case. I believe Mr. Heald wants an opportunity to speak further to the complaining party. That's fine with us, but that'll require apparently another pretrial.
All right, let's see. Well, right now I'm really looking at May 31st or after that.
June 10th, would June 10th be okay?
Yeah, should be, let me check. Yes, June 10th will be the next pretrial, 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
State of Ohio versus Charles DeFore, case number TRC 24269, A, B, and C.
Mr. Delilah's case set for pretrial. Charles DeFore.
Judge, in this case, we made a discovery request. The state has responded to that. I have not yet gone over with Mr. Dufour the video evidence and the paper evidence that they've provided to me. This is a first offense OVI. I think it's a relatively new case. If we can have one more pretrial, we'll know whether we can get it resolved or not.
At the same date?
Yeah, that'll be fine. And I've done an entry on this one, Judge. May I approach?
Yes. Be set for June 10 for a pretrial, 10 o'clock.
And we waive time, Judge, in the entry for purposes of this continuance.
Your entry is approved.
Thank you.
State of Ohio versus Lynn R. Lofton, case number TRC 24554, A and B.
Mr. Morford, you've got a client here, Shannon Boggs. There he is.
Yes.
Waiting to talk to you. Loxton.
Yes,
This
sir.
is Mr. Delauder's case.
Judge, I had discussions with Mr. Hield today about resolving this case. The police report in this case is a little bit sketchy about what it is that the officer saw. He indicates in his report that the car was not moving when he initially made contact. In any event, Mr. Hield wants an opportunity to look at the video a little closer. I reviewed it this morning. Perhaps we could get it resolved at that point. We don't have any objection to that. I know that Ms. Logsdon is driving here from getting a ride here from Nicholasville, Kentucky, but if we need to come back for one more pretrial, that's fine.
Well, if there's not going to be a plea, you think there's just going to be a discussion, I'm okay if she wants to appear by teleconference.
Okay. And I had proposed a resolution to Mr. Hield that would involve amending the charge to a physical control. He's not comfortable at this point endorsing that kind of a resolution. So if we could have one more pretrial, and then I'll know a day or two ahead of time if we think it's going to get resolved. I'll let Ms. Logsdon know so she can be here.
All right. June 10th will be the next pretrial, 10 o'clock.
State of Ohio versus George M. Massey, case number CRB 24124.
Mr. Delauder's case, pretrial.
Phil.
Brittany? Is Brittany here? This one? Yes. Hey, Chris.
Your Honor, after a brief discussion there with Mr. Hield, he's asked that we have another pretrial in this one as well. He suggested we set it out about a month, which we don't have any objection to. I know Mr. Massey would like to get the case resolved, but I understand the reason that it needs to be moved again.
Okay, I'm going to keep that June 10th date, or?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Okay, this case is continued to June 10th for another pretrial, 10 o'clock.
June 10th, don't make me on.
You got it.
State of Ohio versus Trent Smoth, case number CRB 2411.
Judge, we were here on this case, I think, back in February. It was continued until today with an understanding that the state would not be opposed to a nollie upon payment of court costs if there were no further problems.
Oh, different Smith. Thank you.
The cost of not been paid at this point.
Right, he has them to pay.
Ready to pay them?
Yes, sir.
And Your Honor, we had made that agreement, and if he can pay it today, then we'll move to dismiss.
He'll do that, right?
All right,
As soon as
see,
you
the court
release
case
it.
will be dismissed on payment of costs.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
Stop the window out there. They won't be quite ready for you yet, but just tell me.
All right, hey, Chris.
State of Ohio versus Heidi R. Taylor, case number CRB 2485.
Your Honor, I got a text message early this morning from Ms. Taylor that indicated that she had a family emergency last night and had to leave town. I don't have any other update besides that from her. I responded to the text message and told her that I would ask for a short continuance, and I haven't heard from her since, so I don't know.
What's the state's position?
We're not opposed to a short continuance. We'd like a time waiver.
Your Honor, I prepared a proposed entry with a time waiver. May I approach?
Yes.
Way too fast.
May 13th, May 20th, what's short?
I am not here the 20th.
13th.
Now we find files.
State of Ohio versus Eric Ferris, case number TRC 231183.
Waters case, sentencing, we're looking for approved insurance, I think.
Yes, you're right, Your Honor, and that is not going to be forthcoming. We've tried, but it appears that the insurance that was in place expired. Can I speak? You don't need to. There wasn't the insurance, right? He had just bought the vehicle.
And I was having to fix, Norman Fox was fixing it.
You have a grace period when you buy a vehicle, usually there's a time frame where they'll extend coverage to you until you actually get it placed. But
Right, and I bought the
I think
daggone,
that's usually about 30 days.
yeah, and it was over because I got it on,
You didn't take the car insurance.
All right, well, we'll go ahead, so we're going to go ahead and do the sentence. I've never concluded the sentencing at this point.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, anything else? And the reason we were delaying is try to get you a chance to show proof, because what's going to happen is it's marked no proof, and I don't have proof. I'm not going to give you any additional suspension, but you're going to have additional problems with the DMV now for not having proof of insurance. So you
Right.
have to take it up with them,
okay.
which is not fun.
No, it's not.
You ever had to deal with them?
No, because I usually try to keep my insurance up to date, so.
Yeah, so what I would suggest you do, I'm going to give you some driving privileges, but you're going to have to start working on this immediately with the DMV. Supposedly now you can go into the local agencies and they're supposed to help you with it.
In Proctorville?
Proctorville or Ironton.
Okay.
Or you can try to get through to the main facility in Columbus, but that's never easy.
Well, hopefully I know somebody in Proctorville who can maybe help
You
me.
never say, no, we don't want your money.
All right.
$375 will be your fine, $125 court costs. I'll give you a 6-month license suspension, so that's actually going to be up now. Your suspension's up, but it doesn't automatically reinstate, so you still gotta deal with.
Pay my rent. Your Honor, could I interject? I don't mean to interrupt, but Mr. Ferris pled guilty to reckless operation, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he did, though, prior to entering that plea or prior to being sentenced, could go ahead and complete the DIP school voluntarily.
Okay, I forgot that. It's okay, let's start over. So we're gonna amend the OVI to reckless.
Thank you.
Okay, so that's a big difference. So you're still gonna have the suspension issue because of the insurance. So 45/11/20. Okay, and because of that, I'll take the points off, which I'm not supposed to do, but I'll give you a break as much as I can. I'm taking off 4 points.
Thank you.
Okay, so rather than 375, I'll make it 100. So that helps. Court costs are the same, there's no jail time, no community service. Now, you had a problem with your license anyway, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
I'll have him see the clerk now.
Yeah. All right, good luck.
You're good. Just talk to them.
State of Ohio versus Dean J. Fields, case number CRA 23-715, CRB 23-656.
Judge, this is one that Mr. Fields had, you may recall this, you had given him permission not to appear because he's working somewhere not close to here.
Well, I think I said he was supposed to appear by Zoom.
Yes, and he could appear by Zoom to acknowledge the protection order that Mr. Hill was requesting, which is fine. We don't have him pulled up on Zoom, though, because I talked to Mr. Hill earlier, and there's a pending case that's unresolved. It's an alleged theft offense. This morning, Mr. Hill indicates to me that he would like for Mr. Fields to plead guilty to something in that case so that they can have an additional order requiring Mr. Fields to stay away from the Lake Forest property. I have not talked to Mr. Fields about that. So if that's the resolution the state's going to require, I don't care to talk to him about it, and I think that that's probably acceptable, but I don't know that we can do it. I don't know that we can do all of that today.
Okay. Well, you want to come back in a week, since can you get
13th?
Yeah.
Would that be okay?
Yep.
And then I'll talk to Mr. Fields in the meantime. Do you care if if he's still working out of town, do you care if he does this via Zoom?
Mr. Fields.
The only issue that we have is that I think he still has to sign the no contact order on the other case.
He does. We talked about that last time, Judge, and you indicated you could take his affirmation via Zoom and indicate his signature on the
Can you
no
send it
contact
to
order.
him and then just have him sign it and send it back, and we can just say that.
Yeah, I can try.
Acknowledge that he has signed it.
Sure.
On the record.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I can get it to him and back it in a week, but I can, if I send it out today, it might.
He has email.
Or I could email it to him. Yeah.
Email, send it out. Sign it, email it back.
So the 13th?
Yes, sir.
State of Ohio versus Austin Smoth, case number TRC 24-176, A and B.
I need to make notes as to what's going on here.
Okay, it's a very good report, Mr. Smoot, from RRS.
Thank you, sir.
Pled guilty about a month ago, and I didn't make a note on this, but I'm taking it that the state's, or the defendant's trying to avoid some jail time on this, right?
That's correct, that's correct, Your Honor.
So we're gonna need more than one good report for that to happen.
Understood.
State agree with that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. But he's got a good start.
I know we put some cases over on June 10th that I had, Judge. I don't know how
That's
your
fine.
schedule looks on that. That's about a month out.
June 10th will be his next hearing, it'll be sentencing, 10 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Keep it up, sir.
Thank you. Good job, bud. Thanks.
State of Ohio versus Donna L. Wilson, case number CRB 23635. Attorney David Drew should be on Zoom.
Okay. All right, is yeah, there he is. Mr. Drew is here. And my notes were about medical records. We were looking for something on medical records?
Yes, we will, Your Honor. And I tried to get Mr. Hill what he wanted. He wanted to see some medical documentation that confirmed a diagnosis of dementia from Ms. Wilson. However, after speaking with her family, it's my understanding that there is no actual record that would say that as a diagnosis.
Okay.
Her advanced age and mental condition is, according to her family, obvious to them, but there's never been a doctor that has said, look, here's what's going on. So that's where we are on Ms. Wilson's case. And I told Mr. Hill that today, so. It's up to,